Guys, I've been buying so much clothes lately, like it's not even funny. But like online shopping is so convenient. Like I just press a button and it's like boom, show up at my house. I didn't go to New York actually either. I just bought it online because it was cute. Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is February 1st and that means it is World Hijab Day. Whoop whoop. So I decided that I wanted to make a video kind of dedicated to my non-Muslim viewers, explaining why girls wear the headscarf. And by the way, the Arabic word for headscarf is hijab. So whenever I say hijab, that's what I'm referring to. And the reason why is because I've actually been getting a lot of questions from people about it, especially from my friends and stuff, kind of, you know, just out of curiosity why we do that. So I thought it would be a good idea to explain to people, and also to Muslims who know that they have to wear the hijab, but maybe they don't really understand why. Islam is not strict just to be strict for no reason, okay? Allah has wisdom behind everything He's told us to do and what not to do. And when you truly learn about Islam and the religion, you understand why these rules are put into place, and it really does make sense. The very direct answer is that we have to. We are required to wear the headscarf. That's kind of it, you know, no ifs, no buts, you just do what you're told. Now, if I told this to a Muslim, that wouldn't really be an issue. They're like, oh, okay, you know, Allah said I have to do it, obey, things like that. But if I said this to a non-Muslim, the first thing that they're going to say to me is like, wow, Islam is so strict. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not Muslim. I don't have any freedom, blah, 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 blah. And you know, that is pretty reasonable thing to say. You know, all these misconceptions and stereotypes with Islam, it's so extreme, our religion, things like that. It is, you know, I can see why people would think that, but that's actually not the case. So my not so short and direct answer is this. Modesty is a huge part of our religion, not just for women, but also for men. So for example, a lot of people are like, well, why do women only have to cover their hair? Why don't men have to cover their hair? And honestly, it's really simple. Women, you know, their hair is a big part of their beauty. Men, not so much. I mean, come on, look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Hair isn't that big of a deal for men than it is for women. Also, men do have certain restrictions and limitations on what they can and can't wear. So for example, men can't just go around walking shirtless, okay? They can't wear super tight clothes that shows off all their muscles. They can't wear shorts that go above the knee. So they do have certain restrictions. Women, it's a bit different because of our bodies. We have to cover our hair, our chest, and our hip area, but there is a reason for that. Now, there are some people who cover the face. That is not mandatory. Covering the hair and chest, though, is mandatory. And you're supposed to start when you hit the age of puberty, because that's when, you know or can distinguish between right and wrong. You're mature enough at that age. I reached puberty when I was like in 8th grade, I think, but I didn't start hijab until I graduated high school. Now, it is a bit late than when I was supposed to start technically. However, this is a personal journey. Hijab cannot be forced upon any girl. And I know culture is oftentimes confused with the religion. Unfortunately, Muslim culture kind of takes things to the extreme. They kind of force things upon people, and you're not supposed to do that. That's actually against Islam. So, you know, people start at different ages. Some start sooner, some start later. It doesn't matter if you're born into the religion or not. You have to find and discover this true love for Islam by yourself, okay? And I reached that level of faith after graduating high school, and alhamdulillah, I'm so glad I did, because if I started sooner than that, if it was forced upon me, I probably would have ended up taking it off, and that would be really bad. So once you start hijab, you have to keep it on. You don't go back and forth, back and forth. It's a done deal. Another question I get is, who do I have to cover in front of? Does it have to be everyone or just a couple of people? And the answer is, I can show my hair to any girl, but I have to cover myself from boys, the opposite gender. And this is because dressing modestly controls our desires. We're not allowed to, engage in any kind of physical relationship with the opposite gender before marriage. And if you're, showing your body off to people and stuff, it's really hard to keep those desires in check. So we dress modestly, and also to respect one another. The men that I can show my hair to is, of course, my future husband, my dad, my uncles, my grandfather, my brothers, basically anyone who I can't marry, okay? If technically I can marry that person, so like a stranger, a family friend, or someone like that, I have to cover myself. And if I cannot marry someone, like you can't marry your father or your brother or like nephews or stuff like that, then I can show my hair to them. I think one of the biggest misconceptions and stereotypes is that hijab and covering oneself limits you. It limits your freedom of expressing yourself, and it takes away your confidence. And actually, it is the exact opposite. Think about it. Especially someone who's living in a non-Muslim country, wearing this requires more confidence than if I were not to wear it at all. If I didn't wear hijab, I'd honestly blend right in with everyone else. No one would even think that I'm Muslim. No one would ask me questions about my religion. No one would say anything to me. I wouldn't get any unwanted attention. Life would be pretty easy. However, when I put this on, you're literally telling the entire world that, look at me, I'm a Muslim girl. I am Muslim and I'm proud of my identity, and it honestly requires so much confidence to do that. When I started hijab, it was really hard for me. And I was so insecure and self-aware, but then I got used to it, and I forgot that I even had it on. It's actually a sort of empowerment. It doesn't limit you. You're forbidding yourself from being objectified. You're forbidding yourself from anyone having any kind of impure thoughts about you because you are concealing your beauty. And actually, when I was younger, I was super fashionista. I loved doing my hair. I loved, dressing up and stuff, especially for weddings. And I was so sad that I couldn't show my hair. But then when I got older, I realized that modesty and hijab has its own beauty. It doesn't hide your beauty really, but it actually emphasizes another aspect of it, in a more pure form. You don't have to show off your body and your hair for validation from other people to think that you're beautiful. You are beautiful, and you know that, okay? You don't have to prove to anyone, okay, about it. Especially not degrade yourself in a way that you show off your skin and your body and stuff just so people notice you and you want attention, because honestly, you're gonna get attention that you really do not need and that you really don't want. The unwanted, dangerous kind of attention. Yes, in Islam, it is a bit stricter for women in the way we dress and stuff. However, there's a reason for everything. Unfortunately, men are more likely to harass women and objectify them more than women are to men. I'm not generalizing, it's just the pattern that you see comparatively speaking, and it is evident even in today's society. So we do everything we can to prevent things like that from happening. We start with ourselves, we dress modestly and stuff, but again, it's all about mindset. And in fact, in Islam, men were required to lower their gaze before women were required to start covering themselves. So it really does show the importance of respecting one another. So I always seem to forget to mention at least one thing in my videos, but I just want to mention something really quickly. Modesty is the one thing that separates us from any other animal species. I mean, if you walk around with no clothes on, barely covering yourself, having relations with anyone, anywhere, at any time, you are absolutely no different than the wild animals you see in the jungle and in the wild. And really, humans are above that. We are intelligent creatures. We're able to do things that no other species can. And it just doesn't make sense for us to degrade us in such a way when we know better. Anyways, I just want to add that little tidbit in there. So back to the video. And actually, wearing hijab is a form of dawah that I found. When you wear hijab, people naturally want to ask questions about it. And when you talk to people and you tell them about it, people are like, oh my gosh, wow, that actually makes sense, or I understand, or that is so cool and interesting. And when you get that kind of feedback and response, it really does feel good, alhamdulillah. And it was, wearing hijab, a very positive experience for me. If you guys are interested, by the way, me telling you my personal journey, why I started hijab, what inspired me, things like that, maybe my obstacles and thought process, let me know in the comments, and I'll probably make a video about it soon. inshallah. It was definitely the best decision of my life, alhamdulillah. And I do hope that this video kind of helped you understand why we do things the way we do. So that's basically all I have for you today. Jazakallah khairan for watching. And if you have any other video suggestions, let me know. And I will see you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. It's so cold. I don't know, can you guys like relate? Sometimes I feel like really cold and other times I feel really hot. I was so hot, so I turned on my fan and I've been sitting on the floor and it's literally so cold. I'm like freezing right now, so I'm just gonna get up.